How are you doing?
Well, she usually goes back into the breakfast.
Hello. Yes, hi. I'm on a break right now. I got a meeting starting in about 2 minutes. So tell me what's going on. Yeah, tell me what's happening.
See you later.
Yeah, I do. I've already been talking to them. I'm handling everything, so don't worry about it. I have already been. Listen, I know your name. Well, why are you telling me this? I've already been talking. I've been in meetings with them every day. You don't know, but I've been very busy with this whole thing, and I've already got the payoff, everything. So don't worry about it. Okay? I'm handling everything for you. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm handling everything. I've got everything handled. I've got the attorney involved. I got everything. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. All right. That was my mom calling me to tell me her name. She thought I didn't know her name. There we go. Just find out what you She said she wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. She called me up and told me.
I was going to do I did this for you. Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, right. No.
Would that be the track? All right. What's today's date?
Okay.
No. It showed there was a meeting at the 7th.
Today's in I don't know for sure. I was very ill. Spent the day in bed.
What year is it, Lou?
It's April.
I know, they always put you back too far in advance. Here it is. Yes, it is.
I should be waving any second now. See my white head?
I did miss you, of course I did.
Bill just sat down. It's about 2 minutes. There it is. There. You're gonna wave your hand right about there.
Whatever you're drinking, I want to share.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order a special city commission meeting for April 9th, 2019 at 7 o'clock. Can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Hudak?
Here.
Commissioner Parnez?
Here.
Commissioner Preston?
Here.
Vice Mayor Drosky?
Here.
Mayor Gantz?
Here. Would everyone please stand for a moment of silence and our Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we approve the agenda, please?
Yes, we have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimously. It's important for me to start off this meeting to kind of share with all of you the events of the past week that have occurred between the city manager and myself. Obviously, this resignation probably comes as a shock to many of you, and I think these events will shed some light on why we arrived at this meeting here tonight. And obviously, this isn't easy. Burgess Hansen's done an outstanding job and has achieved many accomplishments over the years here at the city of Deerfield Beach. I'm very sorry. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Thank you. Okay. Can we turn the volume up, maybe? City Manager Hansen has done an outstanding job over the years and has many accomplishments. He pulled us out of a $16 million deficit after the great recession that we had. He helped us get our reserves up to a healthy area in which they needed to be. He also helped us achieve our goal of making sure we raised our credit rating here for the city of Deerfield Beach. Over the past year, one of the things that Burgess has always been good about is big picture concepts. Now, over the past year, I've privately shared with him some of my concerns about his execution on some of that. And I've been a little critical, and I called into question what I would call a change in the work product and the work ethic that I've seen from both him and in some of his staff. All of these things I felt were very fixable. I didn't think anything rose to a level of any drastic change. It was basically constructive criticism, trying to work through just like you would do in discussing any of this with any employee. One of the things that's very important over the past 10 years of working with Burgess, nearly that long, is I've been able to rely on his word. And this kind of trust was not just handed out to him. He earned it, and he earned it through his actions that was backed up by facts. That kind of respect is what, and trust, is what we need up here in order for us to do our jobs. Every decision we make is, we are not here every single day. We have to have the ability to be able to trust the word of the city manager when he tells us that. It's imperative to what we do here as policymakers. Recently, that trust has been broken for me. A few weeks ago, it was brought to my attention that Barwis Performance here in the city had been using some of our athletic fields. I asked the city manager about it, and he told me that they had used it a few times, but it had really only been what he deemed as being occasionally. I took his word for it at that point. Last week, I requested some specific information about our athletic programs. I asked for the user agreement between the Deerfield Beach Little League to use our fields. I asked for background checks for Deerfield Beach Little League. I asked for records of each time Barwis had used our fields. I asked for any agreements or permits for the use of the fields by Barwis Performance. I asked for proof of payment for the usage, and I asked for background checks from them. The next day, after some prodding, I was supplied with some of the information, not all of it, and quite frankly, that information directly contradicted not only our policies that are in place, but specifically what I was told by the city manager, and continued to contradict what he kept responding to my questions. In particular, Deerfield Beach Little League, he told me that Deerfield Beach Little League had a few coaches whose background checks had expired halfway through the season, but they were working on resolving that. Turns out none of the background checks had been performed at all by Little League. When it came to the records of each time Barwis had used our fields, of the 48 days that had occurred from the time that I requested to the time they first started using the fields, which I believe was around February 15th, they had used the fields 38 times out of those 48 days. As a matter of fact, on 4 days, they specifically requested to use 2 facilities. Any agreements or permits that were supposedly in place, there was none. There was no agreement, there were no permits. There was no proof of payment because they were being considered a nonprofit, and there were no background checks with the exception of an affidavit by Barwis. All of this was done without our knowledge. It was never brought before us, and it directly contradicted what he had previously told me. Now, let me just say this. Based on everything that I've seen so far, I don't fault Barwis Performance, and I don't fault Deerfield Beach Little League. Everything that I've seen so far indicates to me that they simply requested and did nothing more. They were granted far more than what they should have been, and certain things were not followed, and I blame staff, and in particular the city manager, for that. As more information came out and I looked at it, I became very concerned that the information that's being told to me by the city manager was not accurate, and I needed some certainty on some other items that I was aware of, because at this point I no longer trusted what he was telling me. Back at the end of last year, the city manager had self-reported to me and the city attorneys, from my understanding, that he had noticed that he had received a payment that he should not have. He said he worked this out with the CFO. He had looked into it. He had resolved it. He was going to make a full payment with interest, and it was resolved. A few months later, when I found out that the dollar amount was different than what was indicated to me, I again specifically asked him if he had paid this back with interest in full. I was told yes on 2 occasions. After this, with the usage of the fields, I definitely needed some certainty on what had occurred, and I again asked him that not only did I need him to tell me if he had paid it back in full with interest, but I demanded proof. He told me that he would and that he did. Furthermore, in our conversation, he finally admitted that he had intended to pay the money back the next day. At that point, I told him he needed to pay it back immediately. I contacted the city attorneys. I scheduled a meeting in his office for Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning with the city attorneys, and I requested the proof of the payment, which he provided. It has been paid in full with interest. That's been verified from my understanding. And at that point, I asked him for his resignation effective immediately. If I did not have it by 4 o'clock that day, I would have to take the next appropriate steps, which would be to call a special meeting to talk with all of you about his termination. Obviously, we know what has been submitted to us. He chose that date in which he wanted this to be effective, or have this go into effect. I did request of him at that time, if he chose to resign, that he submit, he submit his keys and not have any more access to City Hall. Obviously, I could not demand that of him. I could only request it. It's my understanding that he did come back to City Hall over the weekend, but was escorted by BSO on the premises at the time, who was with him, from what I understand, throughout his entire actions while he was here. Whatever we decide to do tonight, it is my opinion that we need to make sure that he's put on administrative leave at the very least, to make sure that this effective date of the resignation, that he is no longer coming into the building. So that's everything that, and obviously I'm in a position where we can't talk to each other because of Sunshine Law. So this is our opportunity to be able to do that. I know much of this is a shock to you as it is to me, and I just want to make you aware of it. Commissioner Preston?
When we're experiencing great difficulty, as what you just explained, prayer is a good thing, and I think we need prayer. Our first responsibility, though, in this commission, the leadership that we provide, the things that we do, must restore confidence to the residents of this city. We must bring about a stability in a time where things are unstable. It's incumbent upon all of us now to open the door of transparency, both in our thoughts and in our decision making. So our thought process and the decision making is important, and how we are viewed doing that is even more important. We must now establish ourselves as good listeners. We must listen to our residents, and that's important. And we must elicit going forward their suggestions and how they feel about this process. We, the commission, as we are going through this process, probably there is no greater word or no greater challenge for us than to create an atmosphere of unity. Unity in this commission, unity in staff, and unity with the residents. It's important because there's not one entity that is experiencing this, but rather all of us, from this commission, staff, the resident, everybody is affected. And it's only right that whatever we do related to unity, that it includes all of us, no matter how difficult that is. We should take the time to make the right decision or decisions concerning the residents of this city going forward. We have to keep them in mind no matter what we do. And we should be in no rush to make any decisions. We must take our time with whatever we do in making decisions. It's important to understand how you laid this out, Mayor. It presents to all of us a challenge, and I want to personally thank you for being as detailed as you are. But within every challenge, there's an opportunity to improve the situation. And so it's incumbent upon all of us to realize the opportunity to make Deerfield Beach better. There's an opportunity here, and we must embrace that opportunity. As I look to my right, I know that Commissioner Hudak is a competent man, and I look to my left, you, Mayor, Commissioner Parnas, and Commissioner Drosky. I really believe that in very challenging circumstances that the people are in place to make the right decisions, to do the right things for the residents that are sitting here. And it's our job to be able to embrace that responsibility. We should not run from it, but run to it. And if we do the right thing, it will restore the confidence that they need to see in all of us, so that going forward, as tough as this moment is, as tough as the things that you had to uncover, as tough as you had to be in that situation, that in the end, when we look at it 2 months, 3 months from now, that the city of Deerfield Beach, though it was tough, we're actually better off than what we were before. So that challenge is in front of us tonight. I hope that we embrace that, so that the citizens, our residents who go out of the door, will feel like the people that are representing them is doing the very best job that they can. Every one of us was elected, not for the good moments, but for the tough moments, the moments just like this. This is why we sit in this position. And as tough as it is, we have to do that which is right, that makes everybody out here have the confidence in their city and their city leadership. Everybody heard what you just said. But you know what they're looking at? It's how we deal with this challenge. That's what they're going to evaluate. It's already happened, but how do our leaders deal with this? And I really believe that the people are in place to do a good job. So as we go forward tonight, we must understand that the challenge that is in front of us, we have no choice but to do the right things for the citizens of Deerfield Beach.
Thank you. Commissioner Hudak?
Very well said, Commissioner. Very well said. This is an opportunity to move forward, and that's what we have to look at this as. Yes, it's a difficult situation. Mr. Mayor, thank you for bringing this to light for the rest of us. But again, this is why we were elected, to make the tough decisions. I commend you for making the decision that you did. I think it was probably a very difficult one to do, but it is the right decision to make. It's the right decision for the city. It's the right decision for our citizens. Now is the time that we need to move forward. I agree that we should take our time and do our due diligence, but I don't think we need to move at a snail's pace either. I think we need to get the ball rolling and move forward. I would like to make a motion to go ahead and accept his resignation and put him on administrative leave, and then I'd like for us to just move forward and make Deerfield Beach as great as it can be.
I heard a motion in there, so I think the commission intends to take action, so I would suggest that you open it up to the public before that action is taken.
Okay. Vice Mayor Drosky before?
I think Commissioner Parnassi just didn't push his button.
Oh, I'm sorry. My light's on. I didn't push
Thank
my
you.
button.
Commissioner Parnas, then Vice Mayor Drosky.
Mayor, I commend you for your action. There's a saying in sales, you're only as good as yesterday. Burgess Hanson gave almost 20 years of his life to this city. Again, you're only as good as yesterday. Whatever the action was that was unacceptable is unacceptable. So I also recommend we accept his resignation for several reasons. One, if we read the contract, outright firing would cost us a great deal of money when it's not necessary. Accepting his resignation removes him from the scene immediately with an administrative leave so that we can move on as a city. You get knocked down, you pick yourself up, and you move on. And that's what I recommend, that we do accept his resignation, putting him on administrative leave, even appointing an interim manager so that the city, there's no void. And we move forward from there.
Vice Mayor Drosky.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can't imagine how difficult this must be for you. You've worked with Mr. Hanson for 10 years now, through good and through bad, and for you to uncover what you did and bring it to public light, I can't imagine it's easy on you. You can imagine the shock that I felt getting the call Friday afternoon, what was transpiring. So I don't think any of us really understood the depth of what happened, really until tonight, as to what your actions were, because we weren't allowed to talk about it in the sunshine. So thank you for doing that. It can't be easy, but you put the residents ahead of everything else in this matter, and I think that's what matters most, that we do right by the residents at the end of the day. And the sky is not falling, by the way. This is an opportunity that we have here in the city of Deerfield Beach. This is an organization that is bigger than one person. This is an organization that is better than one person. The five of us up here aren't going away anytime soon. We are the policy setters for Deerfield Beach, and that is not going to change. One individual may change, but I think the five of us, as Commissioner Preston said, so long as we remain united, we will disagree along the way. But I think this is an opportunity for us. We have accomplished great things on my 2 years up here on the dais, and we can accomplish so much more. We are headed in that direction, and I know it. And all of you who are out here tonight, by you being here tonight, you know that we are headed in the right direction. That's why you are here. That's why you're interested in learning about where our city is going next. And I tell you, fear not. We are continuing to go in the right direction. Nothing will change. You will not see the difference going forward. Those that come to the meetings will see a different face up here, but you won't see how our city interacts with you on a day-to-day basis. So we embrace this challenge. I embrace this challenge. This will be one of the biggest things that we do here in the city of Deerfield Beach, but if we do it right, we have an opportunity to really springboard us past our peers that are around us. So I embrace it. I look forward to it. I thank you again for bringing this into the light. It must have been very difficult. I can't imagine, but I will be supporting the motion as well to accept the resignation.
Okay, thank you. Anyone from the public, please, like come up. Your name and address for the record, please. Not seeing.
Hi, Sandra Jackson, 386 Southwest 35th Avenue. I have a problem with the issue because I am a taxpayer and it's my money, okay? A lot of time people come up here and tell you guys different things that was going on with the finance. You guys didn't believe it. And to hear what you're saying, what Burgess did just now, also I'm going to tell you, you need to check, there was a soccer team, okay, that was here before. There's some issues with that. So you need to check into that. There need to be a thorough investigation. And Gans, you was one of the ones was saying a background check with the Packer Rattler. So I have some issues. When you had some employees in the city of Deerfield Beach was accused of taking stuff from the city of Deerfield Beach, they was fired immediately. Okay, they didn't get any service pay. They didn't wait to be replaced. And I don't think bridges need to be replaced and get anything either. So you guys need to consider that, because what is fair for one is fair for all.
Thank you.
Gwendolyn Clark Reed, 1430 Southwest 6th Way, Deerfield Beach. I heard a motion made by Commissioner Hudak, but then when Commissioner Parnas spoke, I heard him add something about appointing someone to the position in an interim basis. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's what he said, but it'll have to be taken as separate entities.
That's all. That's the point I wanted to bring forward. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Name and address for the record, please.
Steve Kervoy, 4517 San Melina Drive, Coconut Creek. I still have family that lives in the city. And Mr. Hudak, nice to meet you. I had a business here for 40 years in the Cove, which most of the people know about. And Mr. Parnas shook his head. And the mayor knows as well. And when Mr. Hudak and Mr. Preston, who was on the commission previously, when you folks were put into office, I came to see that. And at that time, the people that were sitting in your seats said how great the city manager was. And per his contract, which I never saw, I had no interest in his contract, but I recall when I lived here for 40 years and actually had the business in the Cove, and we were like the Chamber of Commerce, where everybody came and said, hey, what's going on, what's going on? When I was very active, I wasn't what they call a yenter, a nosy body, but I did tell the people what I knew. But for the mayor, and I'm not talking about you, Mr. Gantz, personally, so please don't have me thrown out, but when Joe Miller and the lady that took your seat, when she left, they were all praising Mr. Hanson. And I recall an incident when I was going around getting signatures to get the tax that we're paying on our water and and other things that we're paying taxes on. I got a petition, worked hard after work, and I have grandchildren, I have a wife, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then when we had enough signatures, and we had the lady from, it's no longer with us, that Brenda Snipes, I called her office, and I said, I have enough signatures, and there was somebody down there that said, keep going, get another 1,000, keep going, get whatever. And I met Mr. Gantz and Mr. Hanson at one of the parks down Hillsborough Boulevard, and I said to them in a very kind way that I have enough signatures to not get this.
Thank you very
Can I
much.
have another minute, sir?
No, not at this point.
Not at this
We'll
point?
save it for residents. Thank you.
Okay, you'll save it for residents.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
well,
all right.
maybe I'll move back.
Thank you.
Gloria Battle, 1240 Southwest 6th Way, Deerfield Beach, Florida. I stand before you here to tell you that, yes, I stand by all of those glowing words that I said about Mr. Hanson. But wrong is wrong. Just as it was wrong for those who were fighting to keep certain little league teams in this city, it's wrong for what he did. But I want you to know that I'm standing here not to belittle the man, because he does have a record that speaks for itself, and you cannot take that away from that gentleman. The average lifespan of a city manager is about 5 years, just in case folks don't know. He was here 8 years. I think he did a good job, Mr. Mayor and city commissioners, and I'm not going to take that away from him. But nothing excuses anybody from doing something wrong. And from what I've heard from you tonight, Mr. Mayor, he did something wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and just keep quiet without defending my praises of him. I think he did a good job, and I want you to reiterate that to him in your discussions with him. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Glenn Sullivan, 2377 Deer Creek Trail, Deerfield Beach, Florida. I want to thank you for the transparency. I entered this building thinking that there wouldn't be much said and it would result in a lot of bad rumors. And I'm very pleased that you laid it on the line of what happened and the actions you took. So thank you. No, Mr. Preston, or Commissioner Preston, I really appreciate what you said up there. And I've got to say that I've had a lot of comments to this commission, to Vice Mayor Drosky, and most of them were never taken seriously, looked at, ignored. You tell me what you want, I don't care. I hope that with a new beginning, you'll take citizens seriously. There are people here that are doing what we do to help the city, not to confront people. I'm not trying to take anyone's job away. I have certain skills. I'm a taxpayer, and I'm going to share those skills with you. And I hope you'll take them seriously. This is a new day. Please act on it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
My name is Joe Hines. I'm at 559 Northwest 47th Terrace. This administrative leave, it hasn't been defined, and I've heard rumors, but I haven't heard it defined, so I would like it defined tonight, but and see if it's a little bit different, if it is different from what I've heard. What I heard was his last day would be June the 1st. My question is, that means he's going to get paid for the month of April. He's going to get paid for the month of May. We know that for sure. And at his present pay rate, it's about $16,000, give or take a month, so that's $32,000. Now, if he's here June the 1st, does he get the June payment? And if he does, we balloon to $48,000. That's in addition to his other amounts that he's due, like sick leave and for 500 hours based on a pay rate, which could be another close to $50,000, and there's other things on top of that. So I was just, maybe we could have a little help if you define that, what administrative leave means to me. Can get me out of the dark, please. Now, if I was if I was up here and I was the only guy available to be the city manager for the city of Deerfield, I would tell you just 4 things what I would want to do. One of them is I would have a forensic audit done on this city for the last 3 years. A forensic audit. That's not a CAFRA, that's a forensic audit. And I would have that thing broke down so many ways that if anybody had a question, I'd say open up to page 29, it's right there in front of you. I would put a GPS, locator GPS on every city vehicle, so when my fire truck leaves the city and goes to Fort Lauderdale, I'd know they took it down there and it doesn't belong down there, it belongs on our city property. I'd have that done. Next thing I'd do, I'll guarantee you I would meet every individual that works for this city and I'd interview them. Because I know when you politic around town, and you probably heard it too, Commissioner Hudak, you don't meet anybody that works for this city that wants their name mentioned, but they're not happy working for this city, so morale is terrible. And I would do something about that. I would find out what ails these people, and I'd find out if it's their boss, which you might not want to do anything about that, but if it's just something else that's going on that's systemic, and I believe there's a lot of systemic problems in this city, and there's a lot of people that got their mouths up because they don't want to lose their job because they're making a pretty good wage. And the last thing is, I promise you, I would live in this city as long as I work for this city. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? I'm going to close it to the public.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Diane Chisholm, 375 Northwest 7th Court, Deerfield Beach. I'd first like to thank Commissioner Preston because he echoed something that I said a few meetings ago, and that was about unity. And Commissioner Parnes seemed to have thought that there was some unity, and I think I spoke a little bit with Commissioner Drosky, and he thought the same. I still believe that there isn't. And this is an opportunity for us to do something about that. The only other thing that I would like to say, Mayor, is that it's hard to believe that it's just one person. And I would hope that the investigation is wide enough, the range is wide enough, so that we know that if there are others, they be punished as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Slattery, 1455 Southeast 5th Place. I agree. Thank you, Mr. Preston, Commissioner Preston, for your words about unity in the city. We do need to rebuild that. And there are certainly some things that Mr. Hanson did that were right, and that'll be his legacy. But there are some other things in here that I hope are not a legacy. And we use this as an opportunity to go back and evaluate some of the pay increases that are in place and some of the upper management that we have in here. I think we're a little overstaffed at the top end. I think that, that's a legacy that we don't necessarily have to go on and pay for forever. This is a good opportunity to go through and really look and see if a city our size really justifies having a city manager, 2 assistant city managers, and all that infrastructure. Just those 3 positions alone add up to over $500,000 a year, and I'm sure they all work hard at what they do, but I really am not certain, and I'd question if we could investigate if we really need that much management in a city of this size that we have to go on paying for now and for pensions going on forever forward. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'm going to close it to the public then. Just for clarification, City Attorney, can you talk about the contract and how this works?
Sure. The pay issue that the resident mentioned, and I did confer with the finance director on this. My understanding is June 1st falls on a Saturday. He would not be paid for the month of June, and it would cover through May, and that was requested so his health insurance would be covered through the end of May. As to that, per his contract, if he resigns, he gives up his severance. If he were to be terminated, he would receive 9 months of severance pay under his contract. And no comments from the
only
exception to receiving 9 months is if he was terminated as a result of a conviction of a felony. That is the only exception under his contract as it's currently written.
Thank you. I think so. And did that address the other questions? Yes. Commissioners, I believe we have a motion on the table. And did we answer, I think we did answer your question regarding it.
Yeah.
Just a nod of the head is all right if that's okay.
2 separate motions, and I didn't consider Mr. Parness's comment a second, so I believe there's a motion on the floor awaiting a second. And that motion was the acceptance of Mr. Burgess's or Mr. Hanson's resignation as submitted, Mr. Duck?
And put him on immediate administrative leave? Okay, so we have a motion, a second. We have roll call, please. Commissioner Parnas, did you want to speak with him?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Hudak?
Yes.
Commissioner Parnas?
Yes.
Commissioner Preston?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Drosky?
Yes.
Mayor Gantz?
Yes. At this point in time,
I would say with the manager now on administrative leave, you have a vacancy in the position of city manager. And the next item on your agenda is the discussion regarding the possible appointment of an interim.
Commissioner Parnas?
I would like to recommend that we have David Santucci take over as the interim manager. He's worked very closely with staff and this board on many projects that he's up to the minute on. And until such time as we do a search and come up with somebody better to be the manager, I think it would be in the interest of this city to have a continuance of somebody to run the ship on day-to-day operations. And David is somebody who's familiar with our operations and is very capable of carrying them out.
Commissioner Hudak and then Commissioner Preston.
I unfortunately am at the largest disadvantage of the individuals on the dais in that I have not had the opportunity to work with the assistant city managers as long as the rest of them. So what I did in order to close the gap is I've looked at each of their job descriptions. I've looked at their applications. I've also looked at their performance reviews so that I can go ahead and try to make an educated decision on who would be the best person to fill this role. After doing that due diligence, I would have to agree with Commissioner Preston or Parness that Mr. Santucci would be the most qualified individual to fill the interim position. And I would also like to move as quickly as we can, expeditiously as we can, in finding a replacement. I've looked at, I know that the city has some contracts with some firms, and I think we need to really explore those and move forward as quickly as possible. I know that there are at least 5 openings for city managers in South Florida. I just a search on the web, and Weston is already advertising their position for between $225,000 and $275,000. So we've got to make a decision, I think, sooner rather than later, to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Preston?
I agree that Mr. Santucci is a qualified person, but I think that when we're in this situation, we ought to look at how many people that we have that are qualified. Now, I'm not gonna nominate anybody tonight, but I will bring up a name that I know is a very qualified individual, and that's Hugh Dunkley. Hugh Dunkley is a qualified person. He brings stability. He also has a related degree in financing. I don't know that he would even consider it, but the point is that we should look at a pool of people, and Hugh Dunkley is a person that has been with this city. One of the things that you have to look at is that the finance office is perhaps the most stable of all the different departments, because Mr. Dunkley has done a good job. The fund balance is the best it's ever been in the history going forward. So I'm just saying, you should look at how many people do we have that's available to us that we could actually evaluate. And Hugh Dunkley is certainly a qualified person, and his name needs to be mentioned.
Vice Mayor Drosky?
Thank you. I as well anticipated this moment coming tonight, naming an interim. So over the weekend, I actually interviewed several department heads that I thought might be good in the city manager role, and I have come to the conclusion as well that Mr. Santucci is the best qualified of who we have. He has a military background. I think that will bring some structure to the organization where it may be currently lacking. He's a hard worker and a go-getter as well, so he has the respect of the remaining folks that we have here at the city. So I think he would be a good choice going forward. There are 5 city manager vacancies around us. Delray, Cooper City, Weston, Parkland just filled theirs. So this is going to be a very competitive process going forward. So while I concur that we should do something professionally, we should engage, you said firms, basically a headhunter is what we're saying, that we should engage a headhunter to find the best city manager possible. But in the meantime, that's going to take some time because we do have competition around us. We're looking at, months, not weeks, that this is going to take. So Mr. Santucci, in our private conversations over the weekend, assured me that he would take the steps necessary to act as the city manager to represent the interests of the city of Deerfield Beach. If other individuals or staff are dragged into or become part of this situation, that he's assured me that he would take the appropriate steps with respect to those staff members. So with that, I think going forward, I'm giving him my vote of confidence, and that's the way I think we should proceed tonight.
Commissioner Hudak?
I do want to also say that I did interview Mr. Santucci as well as Ms. Petty before I nominated you as one of them, and I've spoken with them both today, and I just wanted to mention that.
At this point, I'd like to open it up to the public on this item.
Katie Freitag, 418 Southeast 2nd Street. I agree with with Commissioner Preston's comments regarding Hugh Dunkley getting the finances of the city back to where they need to be since the recession. But in addition to the financial the finance division, had it not been for Mr. Santucci's work with the procurement division and getting the procurement streamlined so that it takes away a lot of the questions, a lot of the issues that we've been having with several contracts throughout the city. Had it not been for Mr. Santucci's diligent effort to get the procurement aligned with the city's resources and the city's corrective efforts, then we would probably not be as far along in the financial aspects as we are right now. And yes, I do think that we do need an interim right now. We do need to look at all of the different options that we have for a city manager. And while we're at it, can we please, 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 please find a director for Parks and Rec?
Thank you.
Glenn Sullivan, 2377 Deer Creek Trail, Deerfield Beach, Florida. I haven't really worked with many of the assistant managers or any of the directors. I have seen Mr. Santucci perform in briefings. He seems to know the topics of the city and all. I will steal another comment from Commissioner Preston, and that's our way forward. I will say that the procurement instructions that Mr. Santucci's been responsible for putting in place are very good. That's one of my hobbies, you might say. But I will also say that a slowdown approach is very, very, is something that should certainly be considered, seeing that we have financial controls that have a deficiency against them since 2008 by the internal auditor. That needs to be done now. No more waiting. I mean, the auditor every year has said there's a problem, and the response has been next year. Well, it's next year. So we need to slow down and get our financial internal controls written, documented, and approved by the commission. We've got a human resource manual that I sat with the director some 2 years ago, was promised a complete rewrite by the early part of 2018. All that's been done is the one that was up on the web has been removed. So as far as I'm concerned, you're actually operating without a human resource manual. So there's a lot of things the city should be concentrating on now under the leadership of someone like David Santucci, who's already proven he can do it. So get ourselves in order and then move forward. There is a certain need for it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Julie Rodriguez, 150 Southeast 7th Street, Deerfield Beach, Florida. Just after this incident with Mr. Burgess Hanson, I was just wondering, are we going to do some kind of forensic audit? Because if this happened and the gentleman outright lied to your face, he was a very good friend of yours and lied to your face, you don't know what else is going on, okay? And Mr. Preston, I want to thank you, whatever you said today. I really appreciate it. You talked from your heart. You're not in my commission, but I really admire you a whole lot, and congratulations on your win, okay? Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm coming. I just don't want to fall.
It's always comforting when someone comes at us with a big stick.
All right. Mr. Mayor and the other commissioners, I find it very, very...
And my apologies. Sylvia Portier is your name? Your address, please, for the record?
My name is Sylvia Portier. I'm sorry. I don't know why I assume everybody know me.
I promise you that we do, but it's for
I know,
formalities.
but
Just your
I'm sorry.
address, please, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I have a wheelchair, a walker, and all of that, but for some reason I fell in the Broward County Courthouse.
Does the wheelchair or the walker have an address? I just need your address for the record, ma'am.
I didn't give you my address
No,
yet.
ma'am. No.
That means I'm getting old. 233 Southwest First Terrace, Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Thank you, ma'am.
You want me to do the 33441? I have the ups on Steve. Steve moved. But instead of me moving from my house, I moved to another house. So I'm in a little raggedy house now. But I got up to come tonight because I knew that you would get to this point where you would want an interim. And I came to beg you to please put somebody in the position or hire someone that will have the black community at heart. Now, they talk about multicultural and all of this stuff, but, you know, we might as well call it what it is. We have a Dixie Highway, and we have from Dixie to 3rd. And I want the world to know, the whole world to know, that Burgess Hanson told me they moved them in Europe. You was here. I told, if you remember Commissioner Preston when I had to approach you, he said they moved them in Europe, they moved them in South Africa, and he gonna move us off of Dixie. And I said, that's why I can't die. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to go. I'm tired. But for some reason, I'm sticking around so they won't move us out of town. I witnessed Oakland Park. I witnessed the county. I have 41 years of public service. And there's no reason, Mr. Mayor, for you to be the kind of man you are and Deerfield don't have an affordable housing piece in Deerfield. Whoever, and I'm assuming that's the young man, that his name David, the one you're gonna appoint as the interim? Well, the city of Fort Lauderdale in the year 2015 put together a housing piece based on the Board of County Commissioners. I had the privilege of serving for 13 and a half years, and if you would just get that and look at it.
Would you like an additional minute as a resident? Would you like an additional minute, Ms. Portier?
Oh, no, I'll go. I'll go
If you'd
now.
like.
'Cause
You don't have to.
I put
I'm
out
willing to give it
enough
to
for
you.
him to talk. I don't need the whole public to know what I want you
Okay.
to know. I just want you to know that I'm an affordable housing, not that $1,200 and $1,300 and $2,000 to move in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Affordable housing in Deerfield Beach.
Thank you. If we could show respect to the speaker, please. Sorry, Ms. Jackson.
That's okay. Sorry, Ms. Jackson.
I am for real.
Hi, Sandra Jackson, 386 Southwest 35th Avenue. I just want you guys to consider when you do shoes, and I hope it don't be tonight, whoever's going to be taking that position or just being there for a while. My concern is right now because the assistant, I have nothing against you or anyone, was there any ties to what went on with Mr. Burgess because they are in their position? And it seemed like if they was assistant or whoever else, we would need to find out who was all involved along with Burgess Hanson before we appoint anybody. And my other question to you guys, are any legal action are going to be go against Mr. Burgess? And that's my other question.
Thank you.
Gwendolyn Clark Reed, 1430 Southwest 6th Way, Deerfield Beach. Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, and Mr. Santucci, this is no reflection on you, what I'm about to say. I would hope that you would have some time to think about who you are going to put in as an interim. We are getting ready to go into a budget position in this city, and that person should be a person that can evaluate everything with this city. And I heard what Mr. Preston said about Hugh Dunkley, and I think it would be a good choice also, although that David is not, Santucci is not. But I want you to take your time. You have a meeting next week. You have a regular city commission meeting coming next Tuesday. I personally would like to see you wait until that time to make your decision as to who you're going to put in as an interim, that you really look at putting the best person that we can put in at this time with all of the things that are going on. And I, too, would like to know about further investigation of Mr. Hansen.
Thank you.
My name's Joe Hines. I'm at 559 Northwest 47th Terrace. I just received some information, and I would be surprised how many commissioners know of this information. Back on August the 16th of 2016 at the United States District Court of Florida, Beth Bloom was the United States District Judge. There was an order for a motion to dismiss in front of that judge. The case involved, from just briefly reading it, there was some racial charges, discrimination charges, whatever, filed by a city employee. His name was Archie. Mr. Archie had a complaint against Mr. Santucci. This case was dismissed, but I bring it to your attention tonight because I would believe before you make a decision tonight about anything, you need to postpone that decision until you can really just check with folks and find out if there was any merits to this case and this was dismissed on a legal technicality or whatever, and we know how that works a lot of times. And I just wanted to share that information with you. I think it's pertinent to this case, and I wish you would delay your decision tonight on Mr. Santucci. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Not seeing anybody come. Name and record for the record.
Joe Miller, 248 Southeast 18th Avenue, Deerfield Beach.
Little strange being over there, isn't it?
Yeah, really strange. Never been here. If David is willing to do the job, and a couple of you have said he is, I think he's an excellent choice. And I know all the other people in the city, and our chief financial officer is a great man too. But I think for the interim position, I think David would be a fine candidate, and I wouldn't delay. I know all the other people you'd be thinking about. I would put him on tonight, and that would be my way to go.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Sherman Gamage, 1520 Southwest 3rd Terrace. Now, everybody come up here and rah, 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 but nobody works for the city came up here. I'm a city employee. Now, it's a lot of things need to be changed. We got a human resources that make up rules as they go. A lot of people making a lot of money, they're scared to speak. Mr. President, you've been on the trail. You know what these employees saying. So, but everybody sit up here and say it's a great job. You don't know what's really going on until you work here. It's some things that need to be changed, and I'm probably the only one that say it. They tell me if you want a full-time job, you got to shut up. Nothing to do with the job, nothing to do with my attendance, and I've been here 4 years. Nothing to do with that. So when you talk about appointing someone, you got to appoint someone that's for everybody, not just one person. See, a lot of people are scared to speak. But if you took the time to speak to your employees, you would know it's just not Sherman. But ain't nobody going to get up here and say nothing. Change is needed. And however you want to do it, it's up to you. But change is needed, especially in the human resources. You don't make up rules as you go. you put books in place where you can do the things that you need to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coconut Creek. Yeah.
Name and address for the
Steve
record,
Paroy, 4517 San Molina Drive, Coconut Creek. Still have family here. Maybe moving back to Century Village. But basically, Mr. Miller, nice to see you sitting on this side.
If you could direct the commission and not anybody in the
Okay.
audience, please.
When Mr. Miller, that's now sitting on the other side of the fence, was running for mayor, and he indicated that,
You never ran for mayor.
I mean, for District 1, basically, he used to eat in my store every day, and I helped him become District 1 Commissioner the first time around. He indicated that he has served longer in District 1 as a commissioner for 10 years. And to be honest with you, after he got in the first time,
Can you stick to the subject at hand? That means talking about the individual for the interim position. Do you have a thing you want to state about that?
I do, but
Okay.
why do you have such an attitude against
I
me?
don't, sir. I'm trying to keep you on topic, that's all.
On topic?
You're talking about an individual who's in the audience rather than the item at hand. If you could pause his time for a moment, okay? If you want to continue,
Well,
go ahead and continue.
Don't I have a freedom of speech?
You do have freedom of speech. I'm trying to keep you on
Okay.
topic. I'm trying to keep you on topic, sir.
On topic.
The item that you're speaking on is the interim position.
Okay, so for the interim position, I agree with the folks that you should take your time. Take your time. There's no urgency. No urgency at all. Mr. Preston has been very eloquent tonight, and he has made some good points that people in the audience are agreeing with. So I would follow Mr. Preston's ideas and wait till next week or the week after, but give it time. Give it time to find the proper person. There's no urgency because the city has been running on its own for the length of time that Mr. Hanson has been gone. So let's wait and let's choose the right person.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public?
Diane Chisholm, 375 Northwest 7th Court, Deerfield Beach. I just wanted to ask a question. I heard two of the commissioners mention that they had the opportunity to interview David, and I was just wondering if all of the commissioners had the same opportunity to speak with him prior to the meeting. So I would hope that that would have happened. Mr. Preston, you didn't mention that. So I was just hoping that you would have had the same opportunity to meet with the person that is in question of becoming the interim person. That was just my question.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public? I'm going to close it to the public. Commissioner Parnas, you have your light on?
Yes, I do. David Santucci was a military man, and I'm a veteran. When the captain gets shot, you don't go out on a search. You immediately appoint a lieutenant to take command and keep the company operating. This is a temporary position. Whether or not it becomes permanent will depend on the city's view of how the temporary appointment goes. If, in our opinion, he was and is the best man for the job, he'll be appointed permanently. If not, we intend to do a search. But in the meanwhile, the city has to function. And that means somebody has to be in charge. For those of you who don't know, the people up here don't run the city. We make policy. The city manager or leader or the head of the working force executes the policies we decide is in best interest of the city. The city will not function as well as it could without a leader. I feel the best leader right now is David Santucci, because I've worked with him for 2 years and know what he's capable of. And so we need somebody to take the helm now, not 2 weeks from now or a month from now, and let just things go and operate on their own. No. Somebody's got to take that responsibility of running the city's day-to-day operation. We have 80,000 residents. They need somebody in charge. Somebody to take the responsibility to see that the policies issued by this commission and the commissions before it are followed to the letter. If we find somebody better in our search, so be it. And if we find him to be excellent in the interim, that's a choice this commission will make at that time. So I urge my fellow commissioners that we take the step to put a leader who's in control of this operation day to day on a temporary basis now. Not sit on our hands and hope, my God, the knight on the white horse is coming down the road. Because it might take 6 months to find the right person, and the city can't go without somebody being in charge for 6 months. Waiting is not an option. In the military, I learned that a long time ago. Somebody's got to be in charge. Somebody's got to give the orders to the troops. Our employees are the troops, and it deserves a leader. And so I will make a motion to accept David Santucci as our interim manager.
Commissioner Preston has his light on before we go for a second. Commissioner Preston?
You know, I really feel, as I said before, that there is no reason to rush. Patience. But I was really still prepared if this commission was going to vote tonight. I was prepared because I have sat down with David Santucci and talked with him, and he's a good guy. He is a very intelligent person. But I'm amazed that a person stood up here who was not black and said that there was a charge where there was something racial, and knowing that he will be having to direct other black people, and you don't even say anything about it. You just say, well, you know, let's move on. He should at least say, here's what happened with this. There should be some sort of explanation so that people are comfortable going forward. If not, you have that animus and you have that skepticism with people starting right out of the gate. But nobody here said anything about it. They just you just pass by it, and that's not right. What people are looking for is looking for transparency. Do you address the issue? Maybe it is in his favor. I was prepared to vote for Mr. Santucci until I heard that. And that person that brought that forward wasn't black. Do we just ignore that? Or do we talk about it? Is it made up? Maybe it was made up. But the people here deserve to know exactly what it is, because whoever is in a position to represent our employees, we have a diverse force, and that means that all those employees will be represented, which means they need to know whoever's in that position is going to be as fair to them as it would be to anybody else. Is it so hard? Because I didn't know about this. I just heard about it. Should I have some time to look into that? or should you you just go by it? But here's what I will say, and I'll say this: David Santucci is a very intelligent guy. He's a sharp guy, and he does a good job. But if I'm not allowed to look at this situation, I'm not going to support it. As simple as that.
Commissioner Parnas had made a motion. Do we have a second to move forward? Any other discussions we have on that? I will say this, when it comes to Mr. Dunkley, on Monday, I received another letter, similar to what we did last year, regarding the state audit. As was mentioned by the other gentleman who stood up here tonight, we still have outstanding issues that have yet to be resolved, despite the fact that I was promised last year that these issues were resolved. The list is extensive, and they're a repeat of many of the things that we should have addressed a while ago. So I do have a problem moving forward with that based on that job performance. I believe you and I were both in office when that lawsuit came forward regarding Mr. Santucci. I could be incorrect in that, but if I remember correctly, you and I both were. My recollection of it is limited, but based on the fact that Mr. Santucci, after all of that, has served in a leadership role in the city, and there has never been an issue or anything brought up regarding any sort of racial discrimination or anything like that. That, to me, with a dismissed charge that was, to me, I don't understand. I understand the concern, but I also understand the fact that we don't have the luxury of not appointing someone in the interim. We need somebody in that position. If you don't think it's Mr. Santucci, you can make another motion if you'd like. I think we have a motion on the table. If we don't get a second, that dies. But I think tonight we have to make a decision on who will sit in that seat in the interim. No, I'm sorry, Commissioner Preston. Oh, Commissioner Preston, if you don't mind.
Right, should I mind?
I think, Mr. Mayor, it is important that whoever is in that position know that there is unity amongst us. I think that having a unanimous vote will give Mr. Santucci, if that he ends up being that person, it gives him the confidence going forward to be able to do it. He had a unanimous vote. Unity amongst the commission, I think, is important. And I don't see why there would be a problem waiting to Tuesday night. I mean, what's the problem to wait to Tuesday night? It's only a few days away. Does it really matter that we have to vote tonight, that we have to? And so I would like to say this, that going forward, I would just like to see all of us, whoever that person is, that we vote yes. But I will tell you, in all honesty, I'm in a very difficult situation right now, just the very moment, knowing that I like the man. So, for whatever that's worth.
Commissioner Parnas?
I believe in the court system. Mr. Santucci had the case dismissed. There was no grounds for it to go forward. Now, the gentleman that brought it up obviously brought it up because he feels Mr. Santucci maybe fixed the case, as he mentioned. You know how those things go. No, I don't. I know that the charges were dismissed, and still in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. The charge was dismissed, period. End of story. There's nothing pending. It's done. And if the judge felt there was nothing to the case, I'll accept that till you can show me otherwise. My motion still stands that we appoint David Santucci as our interim manager tonight.
We have a motion. I will say this to your point, Commissioner Preston. I agree. I want you to feel just as comfortable as I do with any decision that we make up here as far as how we move forward. I think I do disagree that I think we do need to make a decision, but I think that the decision can be subject to change should any other information come out. I think it's unfair to disparage somebody directly based on this without that full information in front of us. But and considering it was dismissed, it's not pending as the point that Commissioner Parnas had made. But moving forward, come Tuesday, as we prepare to move forward, if new evidence comes to light in any area that would cause us to change our mind on that, we have the ability to do that. I think to move forward, though, as we all seem to be in agreement that Mr. Santucci was the right person for that position, that could very well change should something come out differently. But I think tonight, in the interim, to provide some leadership, some continuity, and again, the track record and any issues or complaints we've had with Mr. Santucci are non-existent here that haven't been brought forward in all this time. I think we need to move forward with appointing him. That's my opinion, but I do want you to feel comfortable with it. I hear what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, because obviously, you know, that should be a concern. So we have a motion. Do we have a second for this?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We have roll call, please.
Commissioner Hudak?
Yes.
Commissioner Parnas?
Yes.
Commissioner Preston?
For the sake of not tearing my city apart anymore as much as it is, yes.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Drosky?
Yes.
Mayor Gantz?
Yes. Commissioner Preston, certainly your points are not disregarded on this, so thank you. And I understand what your point is.
Mayor, if I could
Yes.
make a note. I just wanted to note to the commission that, you know, Mr. Santucci is currently under contract as assistant city manager. My office is going to be looking for direction from you on the 16th about a potential future contract in those terms. So I just wanted to, bring that to you now so you can anticipate that discussion on the 16th. We're going to be looking for direction from you in terms of negotiation with respect to a new contract, and that contract would ultimately come before you for your approval before this board. Thank you.
Thank you. Commission comments. District 1?
I know this was a very contentious meeting, and I just want to reiterate my respect for each and every one of you up here. We were able to agree to disagree tonight, and that shows me that the city does have some great leaders, and I'm honored to be up here with everybody.
Thank you. District 2?
These are the moments that really define who we are as leaders. And we must remember that the residents has every right to feel the way that they feel without reprimand. It is our job to listen, to be a good listener more than anything, and to make sure that whatever we're doing as leaders, that it allows this city to grow in a way that everybody can have confidence in. We're going to agree. There were people in the audience tonight that had grave concerns about the situation, even when this little situation come up. Doesn't mean that we're going to have to disagree with whatever decision that's being made, but at least we ought to be able to talk about it openly, just not disregard it. And it's those sort of things that have to matter. And so, I want the public to know, I want this commission to know that I wasn't interested in really tearing this city apart any more than it already is without anything definitive in front of me. So, right now my vote is a yes, and hopefully that there is nothing to it. But I also think it was right to make sure that we could have really seriously considered waiting until Tuesday. And I don't think that happened. We didn't really seriously consider that. And that time element, 4 or 5 days, whatever it is, I don't think it would have been significant in us waiting. But I also would like to say to my colleagues, you have a city
that has gone through a traumatic experience, losing his city manager. A lot of the people out there that came before us, sometimes, they were challenged in what they were saying. And now things have changed where, you know what, we have to look at things a little bit different. Maybe they weren't all wrong all of the time. So hopefully we can accept that responsibility to know that whatever we do going forward, that we must include, the residents. What do they think? Whether I agree with them or not, they are an integral part of how this city is woven together. And it's important that whoever's in whatever position, if they have a challenge about it, I think it's incumbent upon us to really look at those things objectively. I get the feeling sometimes that if someone from the public is criticizing someone, it's only because they're just mad and they just they just want to make trouble. But that's not the case. Maybe they just really care. Maybe they just really care. And so that means the only people that they can come to is their elected officials. So what is the experience when they come to us? How do we deal with them? Do we push them away, or do we listen to the things that they say? That's important. So hopefully going forward, that all of us try to do a better job and realize that there's a responsibility from us as well as the public. But I believe that if all the forces are together, the residents, the commission, staff, if we all come together and get pride out of the way, we actually can do a good job for the citizens of Deerfield Beach who demand that of us. And there are leaders that have sit in these seats who have done a good job and progressed this city. And sometimes we're going to have to deal with sensitive issues like race. And we shouldn't run away from it. Let's deal with it. Let's talk about it. The reason that there's a lot of race issues now, because nobody wants to talk about it, because it's so sensitive. Puts everybody on the defensive. And until we talk about it, it's not going to change. All that happens is people end up with pent-up frustrations. Let me tell you something. I was the first black firefighter here in the city of Deerfield Beach. You think that was easy? You think that was easy? But I also became firefighter of the year. And on my retirement, there was a line of people from this dais all the way out into the parking lot, most of them white. We can deal with things if we choose to deal with it. We can change things if we choose to deal with it, or we can ignore it. That choice is in front of us. I would just like to have seen a little bit better understanding from my colleagues to say, you know what? Let's have them talk about it. What was it? Let's look at that a little bit. I just wasn't interested in making it worse, because that's all it would have done. And for now, I'm going to give Mr. Santucci the benefit of the doubt and hope that any of the things that might be bad is not bad, that he wants to do the best job for the city. I can tell you this, as far as his ability is concerned, I think he's ready for that challenge.
Thank you. District 3. We can please silence our cell phones.
Thank you. I like the tune, though. I've worked with Burgess Hanson for over 3 years now, before I became a commissioner. I found him to be open with me, helpful, loved his job, and he served this city well for 18 years. Whatever happened, happened, and it cost him his job. It cost him respect of many people that knew him. Burgess Hanson loved this city, and it hurts me to see people denigrate him after 18 years of service. Whatever he did cost him. Let it rest in peace. Let us look at it so we don't make the same mistake twice. that it was better to let him resign and give him a leave of absence than to fire him, because the result would have been the same, except it would have been 3 times as more expensive for the city. So as business people, you do it what's in best interest of the city. Same result, saving a lot of money.
If I could please ask, excuse me, if I, Commissioner Portier, please, ma'am, I'm going to ask you to please not call out from the audience. This meeting will be over shortly. You're more than happy to talk to you after this. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Parnas, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, that pretty much says it.
Okay. District 4?
It's not easy sitting up here in this seat. You may think it is sometimes, but it's not. We weigh all of the information that comes before us. We spend a lot of time, or at least I spend a lot of time behind the scenes doing research, and tonight was no different. I don't take any pleasure from sitting up here and making the decisions that I did, but that's what I was elected to do, to make these difficult decisions during these times. And you're not going to make everybody happy, but I think we have to act decisive. We have to show the citizens, the residents, the businesses, the cities around us that we are in control, that we know what we're doing going forward. And I think we have done that tonight. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. There are many different factions from the city that are here, that are represented. And I appreciate your passion for taking a Tuesday night to coming to a special meeting and being here. The room is almost full. You could be doing many other things, but you took your time to be here to participate in the process. And that, to me, is a win. That is a win that the system is working, that we are doing something right to get you involved. We hear what you say. We're not always going to agree every time on every issue, every way. But trust me, your thoughts, your concerns are definitely considered while we were up here. So I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I want to thank my colleagues for the debate and the participation and the words of wisdom tonight. I think we all benefited from each other tonight, and I want to thank you for that. I think it's only going to grow and continue as we continue down this road together. On a housekeeping matter, unfortunately, totally unrelated to this, I need to bring this up because our next meeting is on the 16th, and it won't give a lot of time. On Thursday, April 18th, is the Broward League of Cities Scholarship Awards. I can't make it that night because we have the flashlight Easter egg hunt in my district. And I need to attend that. And we did not name alternates to the Broward League of Cities. So if any of my colleagues can attend that in the city of Sunrise on Thursday evening, I know they would like to see our support at that. I have the flyer here. If anyone is interested, just see me. I'm happy to give it to you. But if I waited to the 16th, I would only give you 1 day's notice and not enough time. So I did want to bring that up. But anyway, I want to thank everyone again for being here tonight.
Thank you. As far as the issue with having to appoint somebody, our issue is who would they take, who would the rest of the team who is operating, and I do want to applaud our staff. They haven't missed a beat with what has occurred. I'm sure everybody's still spinning after what happened on Friday. I know I certainly am. But our staff hasn't missed a beat. They've done a really good job at stepping up in every single department that I've seen and continue to move forward. We do have a new Parks and Rec director who's been hired that will be starting at the end of the month. We have 2 assistant city managers. If we had 1 assistant city manager, it might be a little bit clearer to follow the chain of command, but when you have 2, it was my opinion that we needed to have someone step in there. Certainly, should anything come forward that should be of concern, in which we're not all as comfortable as we were when we first started this discussion, it can be brought up for reconsideration. And we can completely reverse it. But for the sake of having some decisions made in that short period of time, and considering there's been no indication that any of the allegations that have been said, there's no history of that I know of at all. And having worked with the gentleman for quite a long time, I don't feel that is the case at all. But should something come forward, certainly we reconsider it, and it is not something we should be insensitive to. quite the contrary, it should be a deal breaker. So, that's why I felt very strongly we needed to appoint somebody tonight. So we continue with some leadership, get us through that. If we have to change our minds, we will change our minds. But at this point, to get us through that in this short period of time, it's better to have a very clear understanding of who the directive should come from. So that was my position on that. This has not been easy, and it is painful. And, it's difficult to stand up here and talk about things, especially when you work with somebody as long as I have with Burgess Hanson. This is not to denigrate his legacy of many of the things he's done here. There are many great accomplishments, but no individual is better than the entire city. And regardless of what your personal feelings may be for someone, if something is wrong, something is wrong. And it needs to be aired out. You got to lance and cut open the wound, clean it out, heal it, and move forward. And that's what I felt I needed to do for all of you. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your listening to me and your support on this, because you easily could have come in here and said this is unacceptable, and I don't want to accept it. This has not been easy. This has been a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of research, and a lot of back and forth. You have what you have in front of me with what I've been provided so far, what I requested. You can see the dialogue back and forth. But thank you tonight, and we will move forward. This is a great city. We have a lot of great things going on. It might seem in some ways that this city could run with the staff that we have because they're so professional and continue to do their job, but we did need some leadership, I felt, in a short period of time. So thank you all for being here tonight. Looking for a motion to close the meeting? Motion adjourned. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.